get your take on the weaponization of government, Congressman, because I know that you're on this subcommittee, but I haven't heard a peep out of this committee while Donald Trump sits in a courtroom in Manhattan all day long, while Joe Biden is over there campaigning, going to all the swing states. What do you want to say about the weaponization of government as Trump sits in that courtroom hearing from a porn star all day long?
Well, it's remarkable, and we actually just had a great hearing on free speech and Biden administration's censorship of Americans' free speech by using social media companies like Facebook and Google. But again, this is the two-tiered system of justice that has concerned me for a very long time, that you have a weaponized DOJ that is politically targeting and aiding these state prosecutors, and of course they have their own cases. Meanwhile, President Biden is able to do whatever he wants to do. This doesn't happen in America, and I think that is we understand this, and I think most Americans see it for what it is, and polling reflects that. Most Americans believe that the prosecution of President Trump is more about politics than it is about some violation of the law. And with this New York case, Maria, they had to extend the statute of limitations via the state legislature just to be able to prosecute him. So people are frustrated by this because this isn't who we are in our DNA, in our fabric as a country. If you want to go to a banana republic, you'll see that. But this is not what happens here in the United States.
That's all fine and good, Congressman, but why aren't you being louder about this? Why aren't I hearing anything from this committee? I had to just ask you about it, okay? Just let me be clear. Viewers are sick and tired of hearings. They're sick and tired of letters. They're sick and tired of hearing complaints. They want action. President Trump is in a trial all day long, every day in New York City. Where is this committee of weaponization, and what are you doing about it? I just spoke with Kevin Hassett, the former chairman of the White House Economics Council, and he said, make no mistake, if we see President Trump go to jail because he violated this gag order, markets will react. Watch this.
The case in New York that the judge is being so, undemocratic, unconstitutional in his rulings against President Trump. It really looks like there's a conspiracy to put him in jail, to put him behind bars. And if President Trump is in chains going to Rikers Island, then, would you want to buy a U.S. Treasury the next day? The thing that I'm really worried about short-term risks for the economy is that the Democrats are serious in this lawfare. And if they actually succeed, then imagine it's like we become a banana republic the moment they take him to Rikers. And I just can't imagine what happens to Treasury markets that day.
Okay, Congressman, we're losing the country. So with all due respect, I'm not blaming you specifically, but it's not enough to set up a committee that's called the weaponization of federal government. That's not doing it for anybody. We want to hear more from you. We want to hear action. We want to know what the heck is going on in this New York trial where nobody can seem to come up with a crime.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm specifically doing. Of course, I serve on these committees. I don't chair them necessarily, but I serve on them, happy to play whatever part, because I agree with you. I've introduced, and we have actually passed out of the Judiciary Committee, the No More Political Prosecutions Act, which would actually inhibit state prosecutors from being able to go after former presidents like they are. It would remove these venues in the state of New York, Atlanta, and elsewhere to a federal court should the president decide to do it. It has passed the Judiciary Committee. We're waiting on it to be voted on in the House. These are substantive things I think that we can be doing to inhibit and stop these elected Democratic prosecutors from targeting President Trump. New York is rife with crime. They've got murders and all types of chaos within their subways and on their streets. And they're using every bit of capital they have to go after a presidential candidate on a statute that they actually had to extend the statute of limitations for. So this bill is one of a larger package, I think, that could work, but it is certainly something that I'm pushing.
All right, Congressman, we will be watching your work. We appreciate your time. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Maria.
All right, Congressman Russell Fry joining us. Stay with us. We'll be right back.